What do you think was the most challenging part of doing this movie? I mean, was it the length, or was it
getting Phineas to a place where he was angry, and especially angry with Perry,
without making him look like a jerk?
Yeah,
that was so hard to craft, and we spent ages going over which word to use, and then we got the original animation back, and we thought the expression's wrong. It makes him look kind of angry for the wrong reasons, and needing to be a little hurt, and really wanting. I mean, we drove all of our animators crazy with like, no, it's got to be just right.
Yeah. It was very hard because you really wanted him to get angry. You wanted to have, because he does have, I think, a legitimate gripe. He feels like he's been lied to by his pet.
Because he doesn't know why.
And we've gone to great lengths in the series to, whenever possible, show that they really do have a pet-owner relationship. There's this real affection between them. And so for him to be just sort of feel betrayed and lied to for that whole time, we really needed him to be angry. But it was like this fine razor line where if we had him to get too angry, you stopped being on his side. And suddenly he became too angry. He became too much of a jerk, and so we had to pull it back, and we pull it back to there, and just sort of tinker it back and forth. I think we hit it right.
And props to Vincent Martella who actually all that out.
We saw him kicking off the movie.
He's actually, I think he's shooting a Disney 365 right now. That's why they had to pull him out.
Yeah, I saw him sneak out of the theater. I was wondering.
It wasn't because he was bored.
Yeah, I was thinking because his whole family left.
It's not that he wasn't bored. We have no idea. We haven't asked, but
they very well have been bored.
Yes, but they had to pull him out for a shoot.
Did you at all at any point think of any alternate endings to this movie?
Oh,
yeah.
We did.
How many did you toy with?
We had an alternate ending that is probably the only real argument that Swampy and I have ever had about the story. Yeah, because it was Rob Hughes, the co-director, and myself loved this idea that we've come up with, where at the end of the movie you find out that the Phineas and Ferb that you've been watching this entire time is actually a Phineas and Ferb from a different dimension, like it's from the second dimension. And so we could end it differently.
And
Phineas and Isabella could end up together at the end of it, and it wouldn't matter to our series.
And they were so excited. They came and told me, thinking, "You're going to love this," and I just went, "Oh, no, I hate that."
And it was one of those ideas that was so divisive. It was something that we went around and like pitched the idea to different members of the crew, different members of the writing staff, and about equally 50-50 down the line, people thought it was the best idea ever or a show killer. It was like there was nobody's like, that's okay. They even like we had like dialogue for it and everything. And people either loved it or they hated it with all their hearts. So we ended up thinking, we don't want to alienate half the audience for something that I think is not necessary to make it a good ending.
Maybe something to look out for in the DVD. I don't know.
No, we never actually went as far as animating it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So you guys are ready for some questions? Yeah? All right. So we have Morgan. He's going to be walking around. Also from Ray Dizzy. He's going to take your questions. Now remember, these guys are also Major Monogram and Dr. Doofenshmirtz. In case you don't recognize that.
OWCA, the organization without a cool acronym.
And it's really not a cool acronym. It really isn't.
No, it's true.
It spells out, oh God. It sounds like a car horn from the 1930s.
Also why we don't have a clever jingle.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that too.
What do we got?
The haircuts were interesting too in the second dimension for like that.
Okay, go ahead.
Who does Candace marry?
Well, as many things in our universe, we haven't figured that out yet. But you'll be the first to know. We'll actually come to your house.
Who would you like Candace to marry? Kevin.
Or would you want to marry Candace? No? All right, who else has a question? Morgan's going to come to you.
We would like to ask Dr. Doofenshmirtz what his favorite Innator is.
Ooh, favorite Innator.
It's much easier to find a least favorite Innator, which pretty much every one of them, since none of them has functioned properly to my satisfaction. I like the ball gown Innator. sort of does what the name implies. Here we go.
I just wanted to know that could you change the movie? Would you actually Major Monogram come into Perry's little lab thing and see Perry saving the photos?
I don't think we have any plans to change the movie.
No, I was just asking.
To be quite honest, I think Major Monogram would probably just be quite the whole thing. If Carl saw it, he'd probably be able to put two and two together, but I'm not the sharpest pencil in the box.
Alright, who else we got?
How do Phineas and Ferb fund their projects?
We've actually been asked that recently. You remember in the roller coaster episode when they're falling from the sky and Phineas turns to, everybody's screaming and Phineas turns to Ferb and says,
We should have charged more.
well, they obviously charged for that one and they invested their proceeds. There you go.
Where did you get the idea for the giant baby heads?
We would like to take credit for the giant floating baby head, but there's one of our animators, a man named Mike Dietrich, who was charged with the task in the haunted house episode of filling the hallway with things that he thought was scary. We just said, look, have things go back and forth, things that you think are scary. And at the end of the animatic that he did, and he pitched the whole thing to us, one of them was a giant floating baby head, which led to the comment, Mike,
What's
what is
wrong with you?
Seriously.
And so we thought that was so funny that he thought a giant floating baby head was really scary that we made a whole bit about it at the end of that episode. And then it sort of became a running joke that, but we get to find out where they're from. In
The land is a dimension of giant floating baby head.
Dimension, just devoted to them. Okay?
Yes, I was wondering if we're ever going to get any flashbacks of Major Monogram at the Academy.
The Academy.
I think we find out in a future episode that Doofenshmirtz also was at that academy that they have some sort of history.
We also find out that in a short time in the future that he attended the academy with Ray Liotta.
That's right. Yes, he did some favors for Ray Liotta, and Ray has to come in. And, yes, Ray takes over for him when he's on break.
All right, so looks like we have one more question. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Here we go. Yes.
How long have Perry the Platypus and Dr. Doofenshmirtz been fighting?
How long have they been fighting?
Since he first became his nemesis, we haven't really figured out how long ago that was, but sometime in the last 5 years.
We do know that Perry was adopted by the family 5 years ago.
So less than 5 years.
So it gives you some kind of an idea.
Yeah.
I was wondering, what was your favorite scene that you made in the movie?
Ooh.
For each of you, I bet you have different ones.
I have a lot, but to me the Goozum pit, all the way up through the stuff that we showed at the panel the other day, which is the Goozum pit all the way through Perry letting go. That to me is like the thing that made me really excited.
Storyboarding.
Yeah, that was almost all boarded by a man named Kyle Mankey, who's one of the best storyboarders.
A mad genius from the Midwest.
I was wondering.